Hi everybody, it's Jennifer and welcome back to my channel. Today is Wednesday and we're going to do a Wednesday whip and chat, Wednesday drill with me, what have you. Just wanted to, come on. Sorry, we're having issues today. I don't know why. It seems like every time I get ready to do a video and I get the video started, yeah, we always have issues. I don't know why that is. That just, Okay, so I am still diamond painting on my Victoria Moon dragon butterflies and shoot, not butterflies, roses and dragonflies. Actually, I thought there was more than one dragonfly, but I looked at the image again and it's just one dragonfly. So yeah. So anyway, before we start diamond painting, I wanted to share with you guys this. I got this from Dollar General. This is my Dollar General haul. No, it's not a whole lot. Sorry. Yeah. So I got this because it's, I needed a planner for 2019, 2020. So this is my new planner, and when I was looking, I didn't realize, now this is funny, I didn't realize there were stickers in this. So it's not a whole lot of stickers, but it's kind of funny. The colors look like Valentine's Day, but it's not. So which is no big deal. So, but I thought that was pretty cool. And of course, it does that. And then of course, it also has the week thing in here. It's a pretty generic planner, which is fine. So I'm trying to decide if I want to start on it next month or wait. I haven't decided yet. I'm still trying to figure. I'm still deciding if I want to wait until September's over with before I start using this. Either way, it's a 16-month planner, so that's no big deal. The other thing I got was, and I didn't bring it back here with me, and I want to thank one of my subscribers, Nan. Thank you very much for the blending pencil. I didn't bring it back here with me. I forgot it. Wasn't even thinking when I came back here to record the drill with me. But I will show that in my Diamond Tube video on Thursday. I was going to do a framing video. Those of you that know, I did start I finished the Butterfly Explosion diamond painting for my daughter. Well, yesterday I have like it's poster board, frame, foam, whatever you call it, and it's the same thing that I use to frame my Ever Moment. So anyway, I was sitting there and I was looking at it, and I gotta put some more sealant on it and roll it again, because the stupid things are, you can just look at it and you can see that the drills are not, they're gonna pop out. So I have to do that. I was gonna do that video on Thursday, but now I've got to go through and do that. So I wasn't too thrilled, trust me. I was very disappointed. And of course I didn't tell my daughter, because if I had told her, she would have been disappointed to no not end about it. So I want to make sure I got the right color. Okay. So, I didn't want her to be too disappointed and be too upset that the drills started popping out. So I don't know why that did that, but there's a couple other ones that I need to do, so I'm going to do a practice one, because when I did my Ever Moment, I really didn't do a very good job on it, so I'm going to have to sit down and practice with it and see what happens. So, and see if I can get it to work. Because because the last framing video I did, which was a while ago, I got a lot of thumbs down for it, because number one, it was kind of one of those it was one of those potluck throw last minute, take whatever you got in the house and use it. And I didn't watch the video, and it was kind of, it wasn't the greatest video in the world. So when I do the next video, I want to make sure, that it's somewhat a decent video, because I don't want to totally mess it all up. So yeah, it was not the greatest thing in the world. So with that being said, this week, let's see, the rest of the boys week went good. Some of you that saw my post on Facebook about what happened, I think it was Thursday night, about the 16-year-old high school student that threatened to shoot up Justin's school. And it was funny because he and I probably told you guys about this last week, but he came out, and either that, or I don't even remember when I told y'all. I know I think I did, but anyway, I'll tell y'all again. So I didn't know about it until the next day. And well, no, again, that's a lie too. I knew about it only because Justin came out at like 10, 11 o'clock this same night. And he looked at me and he says, did you know? I said, know what? And he says, did you hear about what happened at in school today? And I said, no. And he said, well, a 16-year-old boy was arrested for making, I guess, violent threats on one of his social media on a social media page. And I said, what? And he says, yeah, there was a kid that I guess made threats, and another student had seen this and took it to the deputy that works in the school. And that's one of the other things here. We have deputies that are in the schools, in the middle school and the high school. So I said, I didn't know about this. And he says, yeah. He said the kid was arrested. I said, well, do you know who the kid was? And he said, no. Well, so I was kind of like, okay. And I said, why are you telling me? And he says, well, Josie, which is Justin's girlfriend, had just told him. So next morning I was watching the news and got on Facebook, and sure enough, it was there. And I read the article. What had happened, according in the article, was that the the teenager had made these threats on it. I guess on their, they didn't say. I'm assuming it was, Facebook or Instagram or something. And he one of the, I guess one of, one of the people that either follow him or, are friends with him on this, on his social media page, was concerned and told the deputy at the school. So the deputy, I guess, reported it to administration, and and then he went to the child's home and arrested him. I can't remember if they found weapons there. I'm not even sure if they found, anything there. I didn't, but they arrested him. And I was like, already, it's the first week of school. Are you kidding me? So Justin was like, people are dumb. And I said, well, as long as it's not you, I don't have a problem. He says, no, I'm not that crazy. He says, I don't like school. He says, but Mom, I don't hate school that much that I'm going to sit here and make, those kind of threats. And I said, well, you better not. I said, because you won't have to worry about the police. I said, because your mom will kick your butt. So he just looked at me. He says, I know. And I said, okay, then, well, I don't want to hear, excuse me, that you did this, because if I do hear you did this, I said, you're going on lockdown big time. And he looked at me. He says, you'd really do that? And I said, you want to make a bet that I wouldn't? And he said, no. I said, okay, that's what I thought. So he, but yeah, he was, he was mad that, someone, would be this dumb as to, go to school like that. So he wasn't happy. And he looked at me and he says, you didn't have this when you were in high school, did you? And I said, no, we never had this problem. I said, we never had kids that wanted to, come shoot up their school. I said that was just, we never had that problem. And I said, but then again, you got to realize too, son. I said, that was 30 some years ago for me, 40 some years ago. I said, so you got to realize, it's, yeah. So he, and of course this morning, he gets up and he comes out and he says, you know what today is, right? And I said, yeah, I know what today is. And I said, do you know what today is? And he says, well, this time 18 years ago, you were pregnant with me. And I said, yes. I said, but what happened on this day? And, he told me, he said, this is when, 9/11 happened. And I said, right. And he said, I hope nobody is stupid enough today to want to pull some dumb crap like a high school shooting at his school. That's what his main concern. And I said, well, why don't we sit here and be positive about it and say, okay, well, let's hope it doesn't happen anywhere in the country. And he says, yeah, I know. And I said, what's wrong? And he says, it's just kind of depressing. And I said, what's depressing? And he says, knowing that a big major attack happened when you were pregnant with me. And I said, well, honey, I said, you can't always, things happen, and I said, that was not a pretty time, you know. I said, thank God, I was on, school, leave, I was on bed rest basically. And I said, so I didn't really, go anywhere. And he says, yeah, I know. And he said, and he just looks at me. And he says, I know I give you a pain, I'm a pain in your butt. He says, but I love you. And I said, well, I love you too. And I said, what in the world is coming over you? And he says, because he doesn't tell me. He doesn't say to me, Mom, I love you or anything. I mean, he's a boy. He doesn't, And I said, what is wrong? And he says, I'm just, And I said, because of today? And he said, yeah. And I said, all right. I said, well, don't cause me any problems. He said, okay. So, and of course, I'm still having to fight with him about getting up when he needs to. But he's gotten better about it. So, it's not... Of course, I don't have any problem getting Skylar up. Skylar, he's up and he's ready to go. But he, there are days that Justin will still be in bed at 10 minutes to 7 when he has to be outside by 7 o'clock. And, this morning I didn't have to do it. Like yesterday I did, and I looked at him and I said, well, I'm not pulling this with you this year. I said, you need to get up. And he just looked at me and he says, what time is it? And I said, it's 6:45. I said, you need to get up. I said, because I'm not going to keep coming in here. I said, you set your alarm for 6 o'clock every morning. And I said, I'm not doing that today. I said, you're going to, this is not happening this year. I said, you need to get up. You need to get yourself ready. And you need to be ready to walk out the door. And he looked at me and he was like, well, I've been trying to get up at 6:30 because I really don't have a whole lot to do to get ready. And I said, well, regardless, I said, you need to start getting up when you're told to. I said, because, or when your alarm goes off, because I'm not going to keep doing this. It's every morning. And he told me, he says, I'm sorry. I said, well, you just need to get up. I said, because I'm tired of doing this. I said, I get up at 6:30 or 6 o'clock so that I can have a little time for myself while you're, trying to get up. And I said, and I'm just not going to keep, dealing with this every day. And he looked at me and he says, I'm sorry. I said, well, I understand you are. I said, but you need to get yourself moving. I said, because mommy's not going to do this for you every day. So he looked at me and he was like, okay. I said, you're going on 18 years old. You need to learn to get up by yourself. I said, I'm not doing it for you. So it'll take him a while, I think. And Skylar, he has no problems getting up. Shoot, he gets up as soon as he hears me open the bedroom door to get Justin up. And he's up, raring to go, and ready to go. So It's one of those days. It's one of those things, I guess. I guess it's a teenager thing with Justin. I don't know. Who knows? I have no clue. But it's okay. So, and let's see. Skylar's been doing good this, school-wise. Whoops. He's, he enjoys it. He's having fun. He loves school. And had no more incidents where, he's gotten his head bashed or anything like that. Which is the good thing. Because I was kind of concerned there. Like I told you all last week, he got hit in the head the first day of school. And I was kind of worried that we were going to have issues, period. And, but thank goodness that we haven't. So he's, he's kind of, which I'm kind of glad for. And, so then, I gotta tell you all this story. This is kind of funny. I was in, where was I? I was in the, it was Dollar General this morning. No, one Dollar General. Where was I? Oh, I was over at, there's a gate between our, complex and the school. And, so I was standing there, and, first off, you guys know that I'm a single mom. No, I don't, put it out there to make people feel sorry for me whatsoever. I don't do that. I'm one of these ones that, I've been a single parent for so long, it doesn't even faze me anymore. And back when I was first a single parent, back then, 20-some years ago, people thought being a single parent was like having the plague. So, and nowadays it's not like that, but, that's, and I'm so used to it now, it doesn't even faze me anymore. When people are, there are people out there, trust me, that have issues with single parents. So, the other day, I was, standing over at the gate entrance from here to Little Dude's school. Actually, it was this morning. And, so, one of the, I guess she's a teacher. I'm not sure. What? Sorry, guys, you hear Miranda back there. She's trying to shut my door because apparently I was a little loud. Thank you. So anyway, I was standing there. We were waiting. And so, I don't even know how the subject got brought up now, to be truthful. And, oh, yes, I do. She, I guess this assistant, whatever, the teacher that stands out there when they, when the kids go in the gate, came out to me, and apparently, she's had some interaction with Sky. Now, she made sure that I knew right off that there wasn't anything wrong, that Skylar hadn't done anything wrong, but she was concerned. Okay. So I said, okay, well, what are you concerned about? And she says, well, I'm a little concerned because he's telling me that his only male role model in the home is his older brother. And I said, okay. And she says, well, where's Skylar's father? And I said, Skylar's father and I are not together. And so she says, well, are you divorced? And I said, no. And she says, well, is he, I get from that, I guess she assumed that we were married. And she said, well, are you and him married? And I said, no. And I said, I'm a single parent. I said, you know, his father and I were together, and we haven't been together in 10 years. Well, as soon as she found out I was a single parent, well, let me tell you, the looks that I received from her, I have never in my life. And I said, is there a problem? And she says, how long have you been a single parent? And I said, well, my oldest daughter is 24, so 21 years. 20, you know, I told her truthfully. I said, I couldn't tell you. I said that, you know, it's over 25 years. Actually, it's 25 years. And she says, well, that's unacceptable. And I said, what do you mean that's unacceptable? And she says, well, why aren't you married? And I said, well, I've gotten used to being a single parent. I'm used to raising my kids by myself. And I'm very independent, and it's really not, you know, being in a relationship and whatever is really not, you know, on my list of priorities. And she's like, well, he needs a role model in his life, and you need to find a man, basically. And I looked at her and I said, who are you? And she's, you know, she was like, well, you know, she told me who she was. And she says, you know, I interact with Skylar off and on, and I just think that, you know, you being the only parent in his life is not a good idea, and it's frowned upon. And I said, by who? And I turned around and I flat out told her, I said, let me tell you something. I said, I'm 50 some years old. I said, yes, I've been a single parent for God knows how long. I said, but you know what? I said, no, it wasn't my choice. I said, do I wish that I wasn't a single parent? At first I did. I said, but let me tell you something right now. I said, my children do not lack in anything. I said, my children are taken care of. My children are fed. My children have a roof over their head. Their clothes are clean. I said, I get them what they need. I said, I don't know what your problem is and why you think that it's okay for you and it's your right to sit here and tell me that me being a single parent and raising my children by myself is not a good idea, and then telling me that I need to find a man. I think there's something wrong with you. And I said, I will be calling the school today, and I will be complaining. I said, I want to know what your name is. And she gave it to me, and I called the school. And I told them, you know, and I told the principal, I said, look, I said, I don't know who she is. And I said, I said, it's not her place to tell me. And I said, and and I'm not saying nobody cannot have an opinion. I get that. And I said, you know, I said, but I've been a single parent a really long time. And I said, and I have not had any issues. My children are fine. I said, my children are doing good in school. And I said, so I don't see what that has to do with their education. Well, the principal was like, well, maybe she just, you know, was concerned. I said, well, she could be concerned all she wants. I said, but again, it doesn't have anything to do with Skylar's education. I said, my son gets good grades. My son is an honor roll student. My son is a smart kid. I said, he's not lacking in anything. In the home environment or in the school environment. I said, if you guys cannot stop, I said, I will pull him out of school faster than you can say SATs. And I said, if this does not get resolved, I said, I will be calling the board. I said, this is unacceptable. Well, of course, you know, the principal knew who I was because, you know, because of my dad and because I worked in the school system, and he tried to appease me. And I said, no. I said, you know just as well as I do. People who say things like that, if that had been me that said that, I would have been fired. I said, people don't need to say that. And I said, I don't know where she got the idea that, you know, my son was having problems. I said, because he's not. I said, and if he was, he would have told me. And I said, so I don't know where she comes off saying what she's saying. And I told him, I said, if this doesn't get resolved, I said, I will be calling the board and I will be coming to the school, and it will not be pretty. I said, because the next time that this happens, you better be prepared to have somebody standing out here at this gate, because it won't be nice. I won't be nice. I said, no. It's not happening. And he's like, well, it's just that I get, and of course he came up with the excuse, well, it's because 99% or no, 75% of the kids that go to that school have single parents. And I said, so? Which I can understand, you know, I get that because they have to go, you know, it's a numbers thing. And I said, okay, and you think just because that, you know, 75% of your students have single parents, that's a problem. I said, are any of them failing? Some. Okay. I said, well, my son's not failing. My son doesn't have any problems. And he, you know, he apologized, and he was like, well, you know, we're going to keep an eye on your son. I said, I don't know why you're going to keep an eye on my son. I said, because my son doesn't do anything. I said, my son is very quiet and well behaved. I said, you don't believe me? You can ask his third grade teachers. I said, and one of them knows me because when I worked there, and she had my son. And, well, so needless to say, I wasn't a very nice person this morning, because you just don't, you know, you don't. And like I said, I don't play the poor, pitiful single mom card. I just don't. And it just makes me mad when, you know, people do that. You know, yes, I'm a single parent. Okay, so what? You know, and it just makes me mad when people are like really, really judgmental. Sorry, I didn't mean to go onto a rant. I wasn't trying to do that, or a tangent. But it just bugs me when people, you know, make fast judgments like that about, you know, people in general. And it's really, it's annoying. Sorry, I needed something to drink. And it just, it's really, really, you know, it's annoying. That's all I can say. And anyway, we're going to move on to something happier. Okay. So, anyway. I know I was on a no-buy for a while. Well, I bought 2 things today on AliExpress. And I'll show you. I bought this. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I know, but I think what I'm gonna do is, I did this one. I like this. This is pretty cool because, you know, I mean, I love to read, so that's, you know, one reason why I got that. And of course, I can't save the image. Ha. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Then, really, where's the other one? Then I bought this in the purple. So I'm really excited about that. Everybody tells me that they, you know, they like these little, you know, cases. So I got that. So this, I'm trying to think. It says it's supposed to be delivered on the 29th. I'm not sure when, let's see. It doesn't say. So those 2 things are coming. So yeah, be watching for that in the next couple of weeks. I'm all excited. So, but anyway, so that being said, now we're going to move on to happy things. So, trying to think here. As you guys know, I did my Color With Me Monday. And, of course, because my eyes were so bad, I couldn't tell when I was coloring if, you know, it was coming out right. So, yeah. I apologize if I kind of, you know, was kind of doofy. Oh, my gosh. When, you know, those, you know, I know we all have gotten these kind of headaches where, you know, your head hurts to the point and your eyes hurt so bad that, you know, and I was sitting here and I'm thinking, please, you know, the whole time I'm coloring and I'm talking and I'm thinking, please don't let them think that I'm totally, you know, just like high or something, because I felt like I was out of it the whole time. So it was kind of, it was funny. And yeah, it was hilarious. And then I had somebody message me the other day, I think it was yesterday, and they were asking me, because I had talked about on my floss tube video the other day, I had talked about how I was going to have to rip out a whole bunch of stitches. I don't know if I'm going to or not, because I realized after I filmed that video that there's two colors in that spot. So one of them is the black, and then the other one is the it's like a really, you know, like a, what is it, that black brown, I forget the number, the DMC number, but I forget. But anyway, so yeah, and I realized it, and I was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. So I have to sit down and figure that out and see if I'm going to be able to do that. I don't know. So that was kind of the where I last left that, because I got frustrated with it because I realized what I did. So, which it wouldn't be the first time that I did something like that before, but it wasn't this major of a boo-boo for me to have to rip out. I could just fudge it and it wouldn't even notice. You wouldn't even notice it, which is, you know, not a big deal. But this, you know, there's no, I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to look at it this week and see, because I'm kind of irritated with myself that that happened. But yeah. Oh, the other thing was, I know I showed it on my live, but I didn't get to show this on a Draw With Me. My best friend has a circuit cut. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, I asked her to make me stickers. Well, she wanted to know what I wanted. She's trying to make me up a saying. I'm trying to think of something that I can say in my video, at the end of my videos or something, because she wants to make it and then give it to me so that I can put it on my drafting table. But anyway, in the meantime, she made, I don't know if you guys can see this or not. I'm going to move it, so I'm sorry if I move you. These. So I've got, you know, a whole bunch of them. I got one up here, and then, you know, I've got one over here, and there, I've even got smaller ones. So I'm trying to think of a saying. I used to say God bless, but that kind of got to the point, it kind of got old. So I'm trying to think of something that I can say, because she wanted to make a sticker banner or whatever you call it for me, so that I could put it on my table. So I told her, I said, okay. So, I know I got asked this the other day. A couple of my subscribers have been asking me. I made a statement Saturday that my birthday was coming up. And I had a couple of you message me and ask me when my birthday was. It's the 30th of October. I usually don't, you know, post, you know, it doesn't, I mean, to me it doesn't matter, but I usually just don't do that just because. But for those of you that asked, yes, my birthday is October the 30th. And if you're friends with me on Facebook, it will come up in your feed on the 30th stating, you know, it's my birthday. So why I was asked, I don't know. I have no clue. I just, they probably are going to send me a card or something, which is, which is all good and dandy. So, because I usually don't, I don't do a whole lot for my birthday anymore. It's just now I'm to that point. It's like any other day to me. So, but yeah. So those of you that wanted to know, that's when my birthday is, on October the 30th. And I'm sorry, I haven't done a whole lot of drilling. Sue me. No, I'm just kidding. So, trying to think what else has been going on before I decide to stop, before I run out of things to say. Not a lot going on. No, there's not been a whole lot going on around here. Skylar's had a quiet, first couple weeks, or first couple of days of school this week, so there's really not a whole lot to talk about. I am kind of getting upset with him because they have agendas, and they know, him and Justin know, to give me, as soon as they walk in the door, to give me their agenda, any paperwork, anything that I need to see. And in little dude's case, his folder. And he's slacking. And I kind of said something to him this morning about it, or last night, because he came in and he looked at me and he was like, I've got homework. Okay. Are you going to let me see your agenda? Mom, it's just my, reading journal. Okay. Well, I'm supposed to see your agenda every day. And he kind of got, I don't want to say, I don't even know what to call it. He kind of got a little pissy. I guess that's the only thing I can say. That's the only way to describe it. And I looked at him and I said, excuse you. He's like, Mom, there's nothing going on. Okay, well, you're supposed to show me your agenda every single day, because at our school we have to sign his agenda. And, well, Mom, there's nothing in there. I don't care. I have to see that agenda every single day. Well, we kind of went back and forth about it last night. And Justin, of course, he's like, yeah, Bobby, you have to show her that. And I looked at him and I said, I know you're an adult, or getting ready to be an adult. I said, but until you turn 18, you have to show me it too. And he just looked at me and he was like, why? And I said, because. And he just looked at me like I'd lost my mind. And I told him, I said, really? And he's like, what? I said, dude, don't start with me. And Justin's like, Mom. I'm like, I'm just saying, you need to show me your agenda. Which, Justin, I'm not really, too worked up about. But just Skylar, he's like, Mom, I don't want to show it to you. I don't care. You're going to show me your agenda. And you're going to like it. And of course, he pitched a fit. Mom, I got to do my homework. I don't have time to show you this. Yes, you do. And yeah, he was not happy with me. So he, which I think is kind of funny because, you know, he's, you know, just, that's just him. And he, where is this? Where is this color? I'm losing it. Oh, there it is. And so he's just, you know, and I think because, you know, now that he's getting ready to turn 10, he feels, okay, I don't have to show my mother, you know, anything. Which, well, he found out that's not the way it works. So now he has to show me his agenda. And, you know, I get it. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like doing it, which I totally understand. So, yeah, he's kind of... He looked at me last night. He's like, do I have to? Yes, you have to. Mommy needs to know what's going on. Mommy wants to know, you know, what's going on in classes, you know, what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, they just look at me like, really? So, yeah, they're a mess. So, all right, what's next? 3:15, right? Yeah. Let's see what else is going on, guys. I'm trying to think. There's not a lot of, I don't think there's a lot else going on. See, I usually write this stuff down. And of course, I didn't this time. Not because I didn't want to, but because I don't usually remember to, which I will start doing that because, yeah. I usually am pretty good about that kind of stuff. Writing that stuff down so that I remember what's been going on. Because sometimes I forget. And and I don't want y'all to think, oh, she's losing her mind because she's sitting here being quiet. It happens when you get old. Trust me. So, I knew that was going to happen. Oh, yeah. But one thing I did forget to tell you all. I was sitting here last night. And I was, I was getting ready to, diamond paint. Well, oh no, I was diamond painting and I had to get up because I had to go, out in the living room for something. And, so, anyway, came back. Now, mind you, this, I forgot. Okay, this is how bad I am. I forgot that this was sitting like so, with drills in it. So when I came to sit back down, I guess I forgot that this was there. And I knocked this over into my lap. And, well, I was not a happy camper. And Skylar was like, what did you do? And I was like, your mother just dropped a whole entire tray of drills. And he looked at me and he was like, Mom. I was like, well, at least they didn't end up on the ground. And he says, is it a lot? I said, no. He's like, are you going to pick them up? I said, well, what do you think I'm doing? So, needless to say, he stood here and watched me pick them all up before I was allowed to do anything. Because he looked at me, he says, well, you're not going, how do you put it? You're not going anywhere until, you know, whoops, until you clean it up. I looked at him and I said, and who are you, little man? He says, I'm just saying. Okay. Well, dude, I think you better get yourself straight. And of course, you know, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this up for the next thing. There we go. Okay, let's see here. There. Anyway, so, but that's it, guys. So, I hope y'all have a good week. Thank you for joining me while I sit here and ramble on about nothing and throw a little tangent about my kid. But anyway, I hope y'all have a good week, and I will see you all next time. And have a great week, and God bless y'all.